What's up my loves, my name is Paige, this is Paige with the Page, and today we're talking through all the readathons happening in April. Hello my darlings, welcome to this video. Today we're going to be talking through the readathons I have found on YouTube at the time of filming, and today is the 28th of March at 5:15 AEDT. So these are the videos that I found on YouTube and have been entered in on the spreadsheet, so thank you anyone that has been utilizing that. I really appreciate it, and I'll leave it linked down below. So I have a readathon spreadsheet where you can enter in any upcoming readathons, even if it is for far in the future, with the information about it as well. So I can then reference it and use your words to describe it rather than butchering it myself. So these videos I put out every month going through the readathons that are happening, that are upcoming, and obviously because this is a time sensitive video, there is only so much I can include. So in the comments, if you do have any other readathons that have been announced after I filmed this and posted it, please leave them down there so other people can find it as well. Usual disclaimers, here we go. Firstly, I will only be mentioning the person who I've found this from, so if a co-host has done a announcement video and I've seen that, then that's the video that I will link. If there is a creator of sorts, they will be referenced in the co-host video, so go check that out to be able to get all the information that you need. Like I said, it is at the time of filming, so if anything comes out afterwards, I will update the readathon playlist that I have on YouTube, but not the spreadsheet or the description box, which leads me into 3. Down in the description box there will be a link to the readathon form I have created, the spreadsheet that I've written out with the spiel that I read off throughout these videos, the playlist of all the readathon announcement videos that I've found and popped in there, and they will also be individually linked in the description box below. I always feel like I'm forgetting something, but I think that's it. I will go from the shortest duration to the longest duration, and let's dive in because we have 18 readathons to talk about. The first is a 24-hour readathon that is happening on the 6th of April, and that is Tackle Your TBR, created by the Reading Nymph. They do these every 2 months, and basically it's to take a day for yourself, and if you want to read, go for it. They do have reading prompts, but mostly it's just taking time to look after yourself and do what you need to do. You can make it as flexible as you like, and they do keep the same 4 prompts every round, so then you can have that continuity and consistency and care. But you don't have to read if you don't want to, and you can stretch it out to be as long as you want. It's just that little reminder to take that time to stop and do what you need to do. Then we have a weekend readathon running from the 5th to the 7th, and that is the mini Spooktober getaway, which I found on Reading with Rylane's channel. So the focus is on reading thrillers, mysteries, and horrors, and bring some of the spooky season to springtime. There is a bingo board with reading and activity prompts. You can double up as much as needed, and it is all about that spooky time and bringing it to the halfway mark when it's all sunshine and rainbows. Next we have a 10-day readathon running from the 29th of March to the 7th of April, so I wanted to get this in, and that is the Bunny Readathon, which is created by Brooklyn's Library. This is predominantly Discord based. There are prompts for both Instagram and to-do lists based around Bunny by Mona Reward. Brooklyn's announcement video was very creative and a lot of fun, reading all things Mona Reward based, but it doesn't have to be purely Mona Reward, it's just the aesthetic that they've gone for. Then we have a 2-week readathon running from the 8th to the 21st, and that is Randomathon round 2, and this is created by Macy from The Bright Side Girl. This round of Randomathon is themed around food, so books set in restaurants or with food on the cover. There are 5 reading challenges and 14 Instagram challenges, and Macy's readathons are always a fantastic and communal time. Then we dive into the month-longs. For the first one, it is actually running from the 13th of April to the 11th of May, and that is Eurovision-a-thon, which is created by Helen's Bookhaven. And Eurovision-a-thon is following throughout the time period that the Eurovision Song Contest run. Basically, you want to be reading books from the 37 countries that are in the Eurovision competition. You read 1 book per country, and you earn points for where they place in the finals. So as we go throughout, so if people make it into the semi-finals, then you're speed reading as fast as humanly possible from those if you haven't already. So it's a very fun time. But for those happening just throughout the month of April, we have Giant April, which is created by Roy Reads Anything. And this is a relaxed month reading about giant apes, such as King Kong, the Kong sequels, and this is a word that I have never come across in my life, pastiches? And works featuring his giant monster friends. Books, comics, and movies are all welcome. Then we have the Tomes and Treasures Readathon, which is created by The Creepy Geek and Ashley's Bookish Life. This is a D&D inspired readathon. They have created little help guides, and this round is to create your character that you're going to use in hopefully future rounds. So there is a whole guide and so many options. It's amazing. And basically, you want to pick the prompts to create your character. This can also stretch out until the next round if you do need to accrue things throughout. There are many different aspects to it, and it looks so much fun. The main point of April is to create your character, but they are also flexible with the timing, which leads us to Magical Readathon, the Aurelium Spring Equinox, created by G from Book Roast. And if anyone doesn't know this readathon, welcome. This is the Magical Readathon, which is created by G and set at Aurelium Academy. The main concept is we are in this academy to study for our chosen careers, and each career will have a set of prompts that you will need to read for, which are your classes. There is a 101 if you need guidance, if you want to go and create a character and all of the backlore to it. If this is your first time hearing about it or your first time joining, you have a character, they pick the career, and then you read the correlating prompts. You don't have to start there. You can just dive in straight into the career. That is fine. G is very open to the community taking what they need and running where they need it to. So it is just a fabulous time. And then in August, it is a more advanced level. So it is so much fun. Then we have, once again, the Picture This Readathon, which I found on Spread Bookjoy. There are 6 words for prompts, and the goal is to celebrate the art of picture books and the fact that picture books are not necessarily made just for children. It is to enjoy the simple pleasure and appreciate the artistry of picture books, and there is also an extra challenge to do an illustrator deep dive. Then we have Trans Girl April, which is created by Se Kevi. This year is focused on reading trans authors. There is a unofficial prompt and or challenge to create Trans Girl April content to spread the word of these authors and promoting trans works. The creator is not able to go ham like they did last year, and hoping that through this we can continue as a community to make this readathon the uplifting of trans voices that they deserve. Following that, we have TBR Clear Out, which is created by Books and Things, and this is to read books from your long-term TBR. So whether that be physical, ebook, Goodreads, Amy, I'm looking at you, that's up to you. It is very low-key and chill, and more as a community goal to just read your TBR. There are also 7 optional challenges to guide your reading if you do need them. Then we have Old School April, which I found on Pretty in Papercut, and this is a readathon, watchathon team event based off the show Legends of the Hidden Temple. You don't have to be familiar with the show. The teams are just the same one from that show. You gather points through the reading prompts, watching movies and other activities celebrating the 70s, 80s, 90s and noughties, or also reading newer books that have a retro vibe. And I believe there is also a slumber party happening again this year. But they also have a whole calendar of events for this readathon as well. Then we have TBR Takedownathon, which is created by the Hex Library, and this is based off their TBR game that they were doing for last year, and they have turned it into a readathon. Basically, badges people, there are badges available. You need to read a book from your TBR. Again, physical, ebook, library, what have you, counts. There is a bingo board that has been created, but also a blank one if you want to adjust the prompts to fit your TBR. You can double up as much as you want, and the badges are based off different reading things that you manage to complete throughout the month. So say reading X number of books or X number of pages, reading a book over 500 pages. And I am a badge motivated person, so I'm excited. I also really love how they've incorporated other readathons into this. So it doesn't necessarily need to be an active readathon, but there's a prompt that's a host fave from any readathon. So it's like going back over it and seeing the things that have been recommended in past, or if you have something that's currently happening, tying it in perfectly together. So I really appreciate that they've thought of these, and it's just really interesting on how they've come up with their prompts. Then we have April Popcorn and Poetry Minute Readathon, which I found on Literary Love 123, and this is a casual and fun approach to vampire symbolism in romantic poetry. There is one prompt and also a group read, as well as lots of recommendations for how to approach this and reading vampire symbolism in romantic poetry. Then we have Battle of the Bands One Hit Wonders, which I found on the Bookish Drummer, and this again is completely on Discord, and you do need to sign up before the 1st of April. This is bands with team captains based off the decades. It's a competitive points-based readathon to gain or take away points from the other team. There are 5 book prompts per team, but you cannot double up. So this one is definitely the essence of competitive reading. Following that, I have Alcott April, which I found on Beautiful Minutia's channel. To participate, you need to read one work of Louisa May Alcott. There is a group read and also a watch along, and optional prompts if you would like to read more than just one work. Each of the co-hosts have their own prompts based around Louisa May Alcott. Then we have the Autism Acceptance Readathon, which I found on Chelsea Zhao's channel. The goal is to encourage us to read actually autistic authors, so those who have openly stated that they are autistic. And so there are 4 prompts, all which will be able to get me thinking, and there is a host fave, so would tie back in if you've got them on your TBR to be able to get the badge for TBR Takedownathon. It's really nice seeing the effort and thought that has gone into this readathon to be able to bring the experience of autism to a plethora rather than just one set experience. And then we have Shower Me With Flowers, the Christian fiction readathon, which is created by Paperbacks and Ponytails. This is a flower themed readathon because of spring, and each of the prompts is based off a different Christian fiction author's favorite flower. So they are super lovely prompts, and ideally you do read a Christian fiction for them, but you don't have to. It is just creating a spring themed readathon, and if you do happen to read from the authors, that is amazing and bringing more light to their work, but if not, that is also okay as long as you're fulfilling the prompts. And there are 10 of those. I do have a sneaky suspicion that there will be more announced before the 1st of April, so my apologies. I will update the YouTube playlist with any that come across my feed, so please feel free to leave them linked down below. And like I said, everything will be in the description box for this. If there is anything that I have missed, feel free to let me know, and this is just to help get the word out for some of these readathons. So I hope that you have found one that you're interested in participating in, and yeah, let me know in the comments if you are participating in any of these readathons, or if I have managed to convince you to jump into a few, even though you swore off readathons again this month. And if you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe. I'll hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!